Listen, I'm always interested, how people get into the industry. I mean, people come to the laundromat business, through so many varying paths, and I was just wondering, what was your professional career, before you got into laundromats, and how did the laundry industry finally find its way into the picture for you?
Yeah, so I think it's a story like a lot of other people, but I kind of, in my 20s was kind of bumping through trying to start different businesses.
Mhm.
And started a couple. I had an auto salvage business for a while with a partner that didn't work out. Ended up kind of just failing on quite a few things and ended up getting a job in the car business. So I sold cars for a couple years.
Mhm.
And then ended up being like the finance person you would see before, you leave when you're buying a car. And I would do all the paperwork and everything for everybody. I did that for about 10 years. And right at the end of the, or right around that 10-year mark, we were having children, and we had t-ball games and all the stuff that's going on, and I was looking for a job with not so many hours, and ended up getting fired in that process from my finance job. So I was sitting there, thinking to myself, I'm like, I am not going back in the car business. This is the last thing I want to do. So I need to, I have these young kids. My wife just went back to school. She just wanted to be a nurse. She's a nurse now. She wanted to be a nurse and was going back to school for that.
Mhm.
And I just started looking for other businesses, and somehow through like looking at radiator franchises and different like parts thing, like because my background was cars, so I was thinking like automotive kind of stuff. Even
Sure.
looked at a couple, like a sub shop, and I looked at an ice cream
Right.
franchise, which good thing I didn't
Mhm.
buy that. They're closed now. And somehow I there was a laundromat for sale really close to my house, and it was a really small store, and I just started looking at it, and I was talking to my parents, my stepdad, about it, and I said, "Hey, like I'm looking at this laundromat over here," and I called the owner, and he goes, "Well, I a friend of mine owns a laundromat in Milwaukee." He goes, "I think he sold it," um, but he started telling me about it, and I'm like, "Well," I said, "Can I have can give me his phone number? Like, I need to talk to this guy because I need to learn about this industry. I didn't know anything about it."
Mhm.
Um, and then, sure enough, the guy, we ended up hooking up, and he's like, "Oh no, I just sold a laundromat." But so it's not on the market, but we can get together and we can meet. So we ended up going out to lunch, and actually, I should let me rewind. We met Thanksgiving Day. The store was closed, and he was there cleaning some machines and stuff. And we just were talking, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, that buyer that I had, he couldn't get financed or whatever." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So
Mhm.
kind of opened the door for me a little bit, and somehow magically was able to, through, honestly, like, I used everything through, like, a line of credit on my house, cashing out my 401k,
Right.
raising private funds, getting a loan from the guy selling the laundromat, like, just all of these, personal savings, just everything, pulled the
Right.
money together and was able to buy it without a bank.
Wow.
And
Okay.
it just kind of, just started looking at this little one that really wasn't making any money, and then buying a larger location that was about 4,500 square feet in a lease strip mall,
Mhm.
wash and fold, dry clean drop off site,
Mhm.
and had tanning beds also,
Right.
and fully staffed. And it just kind of just jumped into it, not knowing what I was doing, just no
Right.
clue. So that's how it started.
Yeah.
So, and that was
Sometimes it's
17
better
years.
not knowing too much, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a. That's my problem. Sometimes is I know too much, and that scares me away a lot of things. So yeah, I
Mhm.
jumped in blind, and it worked out well.